Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome to the Ask the Professional series, Home Repairs and Solutions, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air. Now here are your hosts, Mark and Mary.
Good morning.
How are you this morning, Mr. Mark?
I'm doing great.
Good, me too. It's happy Friday.
It is.
Again.
Yeah, it just seems like we did this just yesterday.
I know it does. It really does.
Yeah.
When you have something to look forward to, the rest of the time goes pretty quick, I guess.
It does.
Because it does seem like we were just here just a couple days ago.
It does. And, here we are again. The sun is shining. Beautiful morning outside. Wow.
It is. It's going to be gorgeous today.
Oh, I know.
So if you want to be outside, today's the day. Tomorrow might not be the day. I'm not sure.
No, that's from what I hear. It's not. It's almost motorcycle.
It is.
Weather out there today.
I'm telling you. I bet there's some out there on their motorcycles.
I've seen some this morning already.
Have you?
And yeah, so there's a chance, just a slight chance that that mine might come out of the garage. I don't know.
This afternoon?
It really needs. Well, I have a funeral I have to go to this afternoon, and then maybe if things work out, why it might.
Even just a quick 30-minute ride is just awesome.
Do a person wonders.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Get your blood pressure calmed down,
and I need that.
The life is good.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of blood pressure, though, I gotta brag on myself, pat myself on the back just a little bit. I've continued my my workout at the Hammond's Heart, and wow, my blood pressure has been really good. I was surprised, and they was bragging on me over there how good my blood pressure's been running.
That's good.
I actually, over the holidays, instead of gaining weight, I lost a little bit of weight, just not much, but a pound or two.
That's not normal.
No, I know, but
not over the holidays.
I mean, hey, yeah, I know. I was really, really surprised. So
well, good for you. I'm proud of you, Mark.
Well, thank you, Mary.
I'm proud of you. That it takes something to stick to all that. It's an effort.
It is. It is an effort, and it's been tough. It's hard to make myself go. I go every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and boy, I just like, oh gosh, I'll find every excuse in the world for not going. But when I do go, I feel much better. So
we have a caller already.
We do.
I think it's Cliff from Clever.
Yeah.
Good morning, Cliff.
Good morning, Mary. And this is an unpaid commercial for your organization.
Okay, that's great.
We got the furnace installed.
Yes, sir.
And it was done before 5 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And it was done to great expectations. And it works marvelously. And it's so efficient that when you set the thermostat on 72, it brings it to 72 and keeps it there.
And that's what we want, isn't it, Cliff?
That's what we want. And Green Mountain Air did a good job.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you calling in and giving us some kudos there, Cliff.
So, it was really great. That the whole project was not an easy one because it was an old retrofit to a new furnace.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of things are changed now from old style to new style.
That is correct.
But for anybody that has got an old furnace that's not efficient, I recommend that they call you and have you give them a quote.
Well, thank you, Cliff. I do appreciate that.
So, and I want to thank you because that was an excellent job, well done.
Thank you very much.
And you have a good day.
You too, Cliff.
Wow, that's
That was nice.
That was nice.
That was nice.
That was.
And that does happen in our industry that, someone with an older home or something, a lot of times you do have to retrofit things. Things are different sizes now than they were 20 years ago. And so there can be a lot into going into something like that. And our guys are just great at what they do. And so I appreciate him calling in and telling me that.
Sure do.
It's always nice to hear the good things,
Yeah, and talk about good things. Well, we have a guest here that's going to talk about something that's really good, I think.
We do. And as a matter of fact, we had some listeners interested in this and asked you to get more information.
And so instead of just getting more information, hey, we brought the head man.
We brought the expert.
The expert, yeah.
That's right.
Here with us, Kevin Cross with Cross Tech Building Products.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us about this new siding. I'm really excited about it. You know, we're putting it on one of our new houses. We're building out in Republic and Schuler Ridge, and really exciting.
Well, I was at that particular project just a day or so ago, and it coming right along. The siding is basically a core of foam that provides the insulation value, and then we coat it with a masonry product, very similar to a concrete, and then it fits together like siding on the side of your house.
Right.
The other thing about this siding is that it has, as part of the package, it has, I believe, really attractive window and door trims that come with it.
Yeah.
There are standard colors that you can pick from, but we can also do custom colors, which makes it a little bit different than a lot of siding.
Sure, sure, absolutely. You know what I think is exciting about this is they're right here in Springfield. Is that correct?
That is correct.
In Springfield.
Yeah.
And they created this product. I mean, this isn't something they found somewhere else and brought in. They actually created this as a manufacturer here. And, you know, so tell me, we have some really talented folks that live right here in our own community.
Oh, we do. Absolutely.
So that's why we like to have them on the air. You know, I don't know particularly how you advertise or what you do, but, you know, sometimes when you get a new product or something like that, sometimes it's kind of hard to get it out to the public, and if someone's building a house, they might not know about it. So that's why we had you come on today.
Yeah.
And that...
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but, you know, and we're not talking just only residential. You do a lot in commercial, too, commercial applications, right?
We do. This particular product is kind of geared toward residential currently, but we do a number of different products that are also for commercial or residential.
Right.
And you're right, we are local. I'm a Springfieldian at heart, and we've been in our new facility for about 3 years now, but we've been in business here in Springfield for closing in on 14 years. So.
Good deal. Why don't we tell people where you're located and give out some contact information? We tend to get busy talking about the product and forget to give out contact information. So here's a good time for you to do that.
Okay. Well, the phone number for our company is 862-9511, and of course that's a 417 number. And our address, and you're welcome to stop by, is 4436 Manufacturer Street, and that is out. It's out in an industrial park near the airport.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. And do you have a website?
We do. We have a website. The website for the siding itself is, and it's pretty much how it sounds, is clearcreeksiding.com.
Okay. And then you also have a website that shows all your products?
We do.
Okay.
We're a manufacturer, and our website for the company is called CrossTech CP, as in construction products.com.
Okay.
And you'll find all kinds of things. You'll find the colors and the designs, and we manufacture a number of things in addition to the siding, architectural details, things like moldings and arches and things like that.
Right. Well, see, and that's what I think is really neat. You know, we've gotten this kind of mindset that, you know, about the only thing out there, well, you either go with a wood siding, which you don't see very much anymore, a little bit of, you know, lap siding, cedar and stuff like that being used, or you go, if you don't want to go all brick, you go with vinyl siding, you know, and that's what we were doing on our new houses. But this siding gives a whole different look. It does look like lap siding, but it's very bold. It's rich looking. And the thing I like about it is very little movement, and your window and door applications are great because you got these nice big trims around the windows. It really makes them stand out. It's just a really neat product, and it's just a lot beefier looking than what you would find with like a vinyl siding.
Yeah, the words I've heard use to describe it are warm and solid looking.
Sure, yeah.
When you see the product on a building, the lines seem to be very straight. And it is basically a masonry product.
Right.
You know, it's married to insulation so that you get that advantage as well. But it's basically masonry. And so when you knock on it, you hurt your hand.
Sure.
You know?
Right. What type of, how much of an R value does it add?
It has an R9 value, which for those that don't speak in terms of R numbers, that's not quite, but almost the amount of insulation you would have in a typical 2x4 batt insulated wall. The nice thing about this particular siding and the insulation that it brings to your house is it's what they call continuous, meaning it covers the entire wall, unlike if you think about a 2x4 or even a 2x6 wall. So much of that wall is made up by that wood product that is not insulated. It's not really insulation. So this covers all of that up, and so that's what makes that R9 even more valuable than it may sound like. Yeah.
Right. So if you have good wall insulation to begin with, and good windows, and you put this on the outside of your house, boy, you should have some really good utility bills by using this.
Yeah, it does two things. It does insulate, but it also it'll help prevent air movement through your house. We see it in new construction, but boy, really where we see it shine is the ability to add insulation to a remodel application.
Sure.
Where you don't want to open those walls up. That's a very costly process. But you can install this siding on the outside and get much of the value of that. So.
Yeah.
Does that also help with sound absorption?
You know, it does. Sound is kind of an interesting thing. It's really hard to measure because there's so many things that affect that. But we've had a number of people tell us how it's changed how they feel about their environment, that they don't hear the truck driving up in their driveway like they used to, or the kids, you know, yelling and screaming. So it definitely, you can look at it and tell that it definitely helps deaden wind noise and activities you don't want to hear.
That's what I thought of. One thing about live radio is they can't see the sample you brought in. But anyway, I was looking at that and I was thinking, just from the way it's structured and everything, that has to help with, you know, noise reduction. It just it would have to. So, like if you live on a busy street in town, and there's a lot of people who do. My son has a little house here in town. His is all brick and everything, though. But when I stay there, I hear so much noise. For one thing, I'm not used to being in town. That's probably part of it. But I was just looking at that and thinking that would help with that, I would think. So if you're on a busy street, or if you're in an area where there's a lot of activity 24 hours a day, I would see where that might be beneficial as well.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it will help deaden wind noise and things like that as well.
Great. Well, before we go any farther, we need to let folks know how they can call in if they have a question for Kevin. And you can get a hold of us at 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056. Free call from no matter where you are, or if you don't want to talk on the radio, if you're shy like I am, why, you can text at 417-838-3192, and we'll be glad to read your question on the air and so
give you an answer.
That's right.
Absolutely. And if we don't have the answer, you know, Mark and I are just pretty honest. We just tell you we don't know, but then we research it and find out.
That's right.
We can do that as well.
Or we'll lie to you, whichever you prefer.
If you want us to, but we typically don't do that.
No,
we don't do that. We try to find an expert and bring them on the show with the information that you're looking for.
That's right. And that's, of course, what we've done today. You know, next weekend, the big Home Builders Association show will be. You'll be there with the product, right?
We will. We actually have quite a bit of space reserved for us out there, and we're going to be putting up a number of wall displays that'll show the siding itself and the window surrounds and all.
Oh, that'll be neat.
So yeah, we're very excited about the product and being able to show it off. And
absolutely,
so look forward to that.
Yeah, I bet. And you know, there's a lot of folks that come in to that show. So hopefully the weather and everything will cooperate, and you'll have a lot of people come in. So that's something. This will be the first time you've been there with this product. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So there'll be something new for all you people who go every year and try to find new things. Make sure that you look for these guys and check out this new product. Now, if someone wants to do this as a retrofit, they're doing a remodel, and let's say they have it doesn't matter whatever they have on their house right now. Do you need to remove the siding and that type of thing to put this on, or do you go over existing, or how does this work?
It really depends on the siding that's there and how solid it is. There are some applications where we could go right over the top of what's there. Many times, such as vinyl siding, we'd probably want to remove that first. The nice thing about this is it is very flexible in terms of how do you install it, how can you put it on your wall in terms of does it require the whole house to be covered? No, not really. In fact, we initially developed it as more accent pieces for things like gable ends and things like that. So it can fit in almost, I'm not going to say every installation, but just about every circumstance we can make this work.
Okay. That's good to know.
One thing I was going to mention about that home show, we're also going to be providing some seminars. They have an opportunity for manufacturers and others, builders, to present seminars there at that home show, and we're going to be doing that a couple times during that weekend. So if anybody was really interested, they could certainly sit in on that.
And those seminars are about, what, 30 minutes usually?
I think so.
Yeah, about half an hour or so, yeah.
And then you're able to ask questions and feel the product and look at it and really dive in and get your questions answered.
Now, when I was looking at that, you said they come in different paint colors. You can customize the paint. Is that a paint that's put on top of the product, or is it somehow inside the product?
Well,
from looking at it, it looks like the whole thing is that color. The whole covering is.
It is a little bit of both. The thing that really makes it so hard and impact resistant is actually a masonry product, but then it's not simply painted. We call it a texture acrylic finish, but it's similar to paint, but it has things like sand in it, so it makes it very thick.
Okay.
And so it's a much thicker coating of color than you would normally see on, say, a painted concrete or something like that.
That's what I was looking at that, and when I saw that, so I would think the durability of that color would be longer than just something that's been painted.
It is, and it's kind of almost a part of the siding itself, meaning it's not really going to scrape off or anything like that. The other nice thing about it is that even though it does come pre-finished and it's ready to put on the wall in a number of colors, you can, let's say after 10 years on your home, if you chose to change the color, you can very easily do that. It's not required to paint, but you can very easily change a color.
And at that point, then you would just put exterior paint over it. Is that
That's right?
Okay.
And the good news is you put a very inexpensive kind of off the shelf latex paint over it, because really you're not really protecting it like you would with wood or some other products where they have to perform protection duty that paint does. You really are just changing the color.
Okay.
So it's very very simple and inexpensive process to change a color.
See, I think that's important because there was a few times we owned houses we had to paint. I am not into painting houses, let me tell you. That is a job.
Oh, I hate painting.
I do too.
But,
I don't mind painting inside, but outside is the pits.
Unfortunately, I'm a pretty good painter. And
that's nice to know, Mark.
This is honest truth. Now, I wouldn't go into your house or somebody else's and do this by doing my own. I don't even put a drop cloth down because I just don't get any paint anywhere. And so I'm a pretty good painter, but I just hate to do it.
Well,
I do. I get roped into painting all the time. It's just like
just not your cup of tea.
Just not my cup of tea. But unfortunately, I do a pretty good job with it.
So how long will this, like, let's say you get the color you want and you just love that color. Do you ever have to paint it, or what's the durability of the color? Will it last like indefinitely, or?
This product, the coatings that are on this product have been around for 40 or 50 years, and there's still buildings that were finished 40 or 50 years ago.
Okay.
And that product is still there, meaning
okay.
it lasts for decades and decades. Now, as you may imagine, after a couple decades in the Ozarks, weather and birds and trees, it might pick up some dirt. It might get a little ragged looking. But that's what's beautiful about this is there's nothing wrong with it at that point. It's just you may want to freshen it up with a really, really inexpensive coat of paint.
Well, that was my next question I was asking you is, like with vinyl siding, you can power wash it or whatever. Is that what you do with this? If you want to clean it, do you power wash it or how do you clean it?
No, you really don't need to power wash it. In fact, we don't recommend it. We recommend that you just take like I said, with, say, bird or tree droppings, which are going to happen in the Ozarks.
Sure.
Just take your water hose and spray it off. And,
oh, really?
It typically comes right off, and if it's real stubborn, you might take a brush to it and brush it a little bit.
Okay.
So yeah, real easy to take care of. Not typically something you have to do much to.
Pretty low maintenance.
Real low maintenance. We also it has a mold inhibitor in it, which around here I think we hear a lot of people.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. So
that was our next question.
I am.
So you were right on that one.
I'm glad I could help, but yeah, it's really. It's really a very durable and easy product to deal with, and that's what we try to do. We try to think, hey, I don't even have to think if I have it on my house. I do have it on my house. That was the first place I put it.
I'm sure,
and so I think to myself, if I have it on my house, how do I want to work with it? And so we try to keep it real low maintenance, very durable. And but if in a decade or so you want to change the look a little bit, that's pretty easy too.
Now, say we're out mowing and, the old proverbial rock hits it and knocks a hole. And I know it'd take quite a bit to knock a hole in it, but if it happened, it can be repaired, true?
It can be. The product, like I say, is kind of a masonry product, and then it has kind of a thick coating of a textured finish. And you're right, it will take a really, really fast rock to damage this. We do warranty the product against hail damage, and why do we do that? Is because we don't really worry about it. It is very, very hard stuff. I've hit it with a hammer just about as hard as I can hit it, and it didn't really do anything to it.
Oh wow!
So, but if it did need some repair, basically all you do is we normally would leave a little bit of the finish that is the same color as the siding. We leave that with the homeowner, and they just go out there with their finger and touch it up.
Wow.
So it works out pretty well.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Got to take a
right.
break.
We do.
We've already went through the first half of the hour.
It's crazy. It's incredible how fast it goes.
It is.
You know what? I had somebody real quick before we go to break compare us, and I think I've told about this before, but somebody told me this the other day. Said, you and Mary are just the Buck and Roy or the Lester and Earl or the Porter and Dolly of radio here in the Ozarks. So, I just thought about that. I wanted to throw that in.
There you go. Well, stick with us. We'll be back shortly. Got to take a break on that note.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A man held off police during the night at a home in southwest Springfield. It happened in the 700 block of West Tracy. A woman ran from the home after her boyfriend reportedly threatened her with a gun. Police used a battering ram to smash in the door of the home. No one was found inside. The suspect is wanted on several criminal charges in Arkansas. A couple from Montana has been arrested on charges of promoting prostitution with a 14-year-old Springfield girl. 32-year-old Lewis Venning and 22-year-old Courtney Eldridge were picked up outside a Joplin motel. Joplin police say an officer arranged what was supposed to be a date with the teenager. Clients were allegedly charged $230 an hour. And a neighborhood group plans to protest a proposed Walmart neighborhood market Saturday. Members of the West Central Neighborhood Association will protest at Grand and Campbell, the location where Walmart wants to build the store. Association members say they are against the store because it will have an unfair advantage over local businesses. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
Technology's great when it works. Hi, I'm Kim Commando. On my show, I talk about how to make the digital world work better for you. I can help you with everything. Cell phones to iPods, big screen TVs to internet safety for your kids, and the latest gadgets and gizmos. It's a digital world. I'll help you get the most out of it. It's informative and a heck of a lot of fun. Join me, Kim Commando, on KWTO AM 560, the Talk of the Ozarks.
The Kim Commando Show, Sundays from noon to 3 p.m. on KWTO AM 560.
Breezy and warmer for today with sunny skies, high of 64, cloudy and breezy tonight, low of 43. Cloudy and mild again tomorrow. We will see a shower or two by the afternoon. It could change to snow by the evening hours. High tomorrow 50, but temperatures will fall late. Much colder under sunny skies on Sunday, high of 31. Remaining sunny and cold again on Monday, the high near 30. I'm AccuWeather's Jason Lord.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome back to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air. Spring Mountain Air, the #1 place for all your heating and air needs. And here is your host, Mark and Mary.
Welcome back, everyone. You got something making racket over there, Mark.
My phone.
Your phone's buzzing
My
at
phone's
you.
buzzing at me, that's right. Good to be back.
It's always good to be
Always
back.
good to be back.
Yep.
That's right.
It is, and we hope that you're back with us too listening. So
Yep, that's right.
if you do have any questions, if you want to talk to Mark about something or me, or if you want to ask Kevin any questions about this really cool product, I really wish you guys could see it. It's really a neat product. You can give us a call here at 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056.
That's right. Or if you want to send us a text, I've got a couple texts coming through. People listening. My buddy Gene, he's listening to us today.
He always listens,
He always
doesn't he?
listens,
Yeah.
And he thought the Porter and Dolly comment was really funny, so he had to text me on that. But you can send us a text at 417-838-3192, and we'll read it on the air and get you an answer to your question somehow.
You know, if you have that question, there's probably a lot of people have the same question.
Probably so.
So that way we can answer multiple people's questions at the same time.
That's right, we can. So
it works out good.
Yep. Hey, I want to take just a second. A gentleman that a lot of people around Springfield knew. That's my great uncle Bob Withers, passed away just earlier this week. And Bob was big in construction around here for years. And Bob was a great songwriter, great musician. And a lot of folks around here know him. He was one of the first members of, or I think the president of the multi-list here years ago when they first started up. And so he's been around real estate and building and everything for a long time. His services are this afternoon, visitations at 1 and funerals at 2 at Gorman Sharp. And so anyhow, I'd like to let folks know about that. And a really good musician friend of mine, Frank Ray, lives up in the St. Louis area. His son passed away. So to all the bluegrass community that listens to the show, I know they would want to know about that.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
absolutely.
So.
Well, we're sorry to hear about your loss, Mark.
Yep. Well, thank you.
I didn't know that. So.
Bob's a great guy. He lived a great life. I think he was about 84 years old, but did a lot for the building industry and stuff, and built a lot of apartments and houses and stuff around Springfield.
I'll bet he would have liked this new product.
He would have loved this new
I'll bet
product.
he would have.
Bob was always the kind. I remember this. This goes back when I was a kid, but Bob got into the solar heat business there because it was a new product. He was always out there looking for new, innovative products.
And the best thing for his clients. And
Sure. And so he would have loved this. This would have been right up his alley.
There you go.
So, yeah. So I'm glad we had you on today.
Well, I'm glad I was on.
Yeah.
And so how long have you guys been in business here in Springfield?
We have been in business closing in on 14 years now.
And so not only did you invent this new product, but you actually manufacture it. You have the manufacturing facility here as well. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, we actually started out manufacturing the coatings that are on this product now, and we did that for the most part. And then, probably 7 years ago, we started making things that we call architectural details. They're things you probably see every day. You just probably don't know how they're made or what they're made of. They're things that are similar to the siding, but they're used for looks, like columns and arches that go around windows. A lot of commercial buildings have them on them, hotels and whatnot. So we make those as well. And then probably around 3 years ago, we said, well, why don't we put those two things together and put it on the side of a house and make it easy for everybody? And probably the most significant thing about this is all those things that I've talked about are great, but if you can't afford to do it, it doesn't make any sense. It's very economical. That's the thing that really is the key to this, is that it can happen in a way that people can afford it.
And so, do you also have the installers to put that on, or do you sell it to other siding people that put it? Who installs this?
Right. We are actually a manufacturer, so what we do is we sell it to the installers. We have a certification process whereby the installer is trained, and we make sure that they're going to do it correctly.
Sure.
And so we're going to warranty this product for 40 years, so we want to make sure that it happens correctly.
Absolutely, you bet.
So we don't really do the install, but we have lots of real smart people out there that do it.
Okay.
Now, we're talking to installation, a question that, matter of fact, this came up this morning at the coffee shop with the guys. I was telling them who our guest was and stuff. There was a product that you've seen a lot, but there was a lot of issues with it. It was the EFIS products, or Drive It, whatever it was called. And one thing I wanted to know, tell me what EFIS stands for. But before what I'm getting at on this is the installation. The reason there was problems with that is because it was never properly installed. There was very few people that knew how to put the stuff up and do it right. And installation is so important.
Yeah, it really is. And that acronym you said, the EFIS, which is Exterior Insulated Finish System, is still used in great many places, particularly commercial work. But you're right, it did have some trouble, and the trouble came from, it was such a great product in terms of sealing water out. It also happened to seal water in. So that was a bad thing. If it was done perfectly, and we all know how often that happens.
Sure.
If it was done perfectly, no problem. But if it wasn't, then it would tend to trap water in the wall cavity. In fact, I was listening to your guest, I believe, last week from Quick Dry. And he talked about how it's so important to keep moisture out of your house, and most of what he talked about was from inside sources.
Yes.
Well, the same way, we're committed, and all this siding that we developed is committed to keeping moisture out of those wall cavities. And so even if it were to get in, this system has ways for that water to escape. So that's really the key thing, because like you say, you really don't want to rely on perfection.
Sure.
You want to make sure that whatever you're doing has, if it's not quite put on right, it doesn't turn into any problems, and that's the way this is.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I know that was a question that was brought up. How this will work. As far as the moisture and stuff.
Yeah,
and so.
It does share some common ingredients to that, what you just described, but it's a
Right.
completely different system.
Sure.
And I think if you saw this, you'd see how it was. This is more like siding. So
Yeah. And we have a gentleman that does a lot for us that I know you're familiar with, Colin Mitchell.
yes,
And he's great.
yeah.
And I know he does a lot of work on our houses and especially on our masonry stuff and stone and this, that, and the other. And me and him's talked several times about how important it is to make sure moisture don't stay behind that and the installation process. He's like, he's very, very adamant about that. Has to be, any product has to be installed right.
Yeah, and that probably, you could say that just about everything, but yeah, and we work with Colin quite often, and yeah, he is really sharp, and he understands how critical it is that you just do it right, and then you don't have any trouble. And
Sure.
it's the guys that want to cut a corner here and there, that give certain things or certain processes a bad name, and that's why we're pretty particular about who we work through.
Yeah.
That's important to know too, folks. If you're building a house, make sure the people that are doing your work for you are doing it correctly and are certified in what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's no different in the siding or the heating and air.
That's
you know,
correct.
It's
or the wood floor or the whatever.
Sure, yeah.
You know, you need to make sure that you have someone who really knows what they're doing and you have a quality product at the end.
And that's why we always stress on this program: get references. If there's any doubt at all, get references.
Get references and talk to your local people.
Sure.
You know, I firmly believe that if you work with someone that, like Kevin, who is a Springfieldian, you know, who's in the manufacturing process, who's going to see you in the grocery store and at church or wherever, you know, you're going to get better service.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be more concerned about you. The money stays local, and I just think it's just going to be better all the way around. You know, if you deal with some, you know, we'll have an ice storm or something come through, and then you have all these people show up. I just would be really leery of doing business with someone who wasn't established here and wasn't concerned about the community and the people and the product that they're putting up is going to be a good product and is going to last a long time.
Right.
I mean, all of us in business, our reputation is built on that.
Sure.
So I just think anyone that's going to build a house, I just like the looks of it.
Yeah.
It looks so neat.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
It really does.
And I tell you something else, and we looked at this and we considered doing it. You make some real wide, what is it, like 15-inch or 12-inch, something like that?
One of the standard sizes is a 15-inch tall siding.
Right. And it actually is more of almost a commercial look, but I think it is so cool because it sets it so far apart from somebody driving down the street and looking at that house and thinking, well, is that vinyl or not? You know, when you see this, it's not. It's really, really neat.
Because this is all installed horizontally, I take it. Is that correct?
This particular product is.
Okay.
That's right.
And then is it is it like a tongue and groove type thing where it's flat? It doesn't have an overlap or overhang one over the other?
It's what it's called is called a Dutch lap. So in essence, it has a little bit of a cove where the two parts come together, but then one part goes on first at the bottom of the wall, and then the parts are then stacked on top of each other, kind of like typical siding, like a lap siding.
So it does have a flat look as opposed to a shingled look. You know, some of that older stuff kind of had a shingled look.
Right. No,
that's what I call it. I don't know how to describe it, but
no,
this is a flat.
It looks a little flatter.
Okay.
The main part of the siding is exactly vertical. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to come see this house.
You got to.
I want to see this on a whole house.
And you know where this house is, where the way it sets. When you come down the street, you're looking right at a long side of the house. It's on a corner lot, and so we're really excited because it's gonna smack you right in the face.
Really stand out.
You're gonna see it. It's gonna. And
what color did you pick?
You know, I don't know that we've picked a color yet.
Oh, you haven't picked a color yet?
No, I don't know that they've been firmed up, but we've made a number of samples, and they're kind of the colors are kind of a real warm, almost like a chocolate color, and then the trim would be a much lighter, not white, but almost kind of a grayish brown.
Okay.
So they were kind of real natural looking colors.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing this on a house because I think that is a neat product. Just from what I've seen here.
Like I say, we're really excited about it, and it's also going to make the windows and stuff really stand out too. And that's what I think's really neat about it is the window application.
So it all makes the windows almost look like a feature of the house instead of just something kind of there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're like I say, we're manufacturers, so we're what we try to do is not make a decision about what looks the best. We don't have to decide what's the best color because we have all kinds of choices.
Sure.
And the homeowner can say, hey, I don't like your 12 colors, and they can present their own color, and we can do that very inexpensively.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yep, it is.
We need to give out your contact information again, a phone number, where you're located, and Now, do you have a facility? You said people can stop by even when you're
Yes.
manufacturer. So do you have like a storefront or something where they can come in and look at samples, or what exactly do they do if they want to come by and visit your operation?
Yeah, we are a manufacturing plant, but we have a showroom,
Okay.
and you can just walk right in there, and you're going to see, I believe it's maybe 4 or 5 different panels of this. They're about of course, the height of a regular room, but they're going to be 4 or 5 feet wide.
Okay.
There's going to be different colors. We can show you different window surrounds and things like that. So we knew that because you really need to see this product to appreciate it. We knew
Sure.
we needed to have a showroom, so we put that together.
Okay.
And then also, of course, that home show, which I think, be it for our product or the other hundreds that are there, that's a great place to see it because we'll have 6 or 7 different types of siding to show there as well.
Right.
So
And where's your store again?
it's 4436 West Manufacturer Street.
Okay.
And if you need directions, it's out toward the airport. It's in an industrial park with other large manufacturing companies. And if you need some directions, we have lots of friendly people at 862-9511. That's our phone number.
And like if someone wants to come out and look at your showroom, what are the hours that they can do that?
We are there from 7 a.m. till 4:30, Monday
Okay.
through Friday.
Okay. Okay.
So there you go.
Go
Yeah.
by and look at it, or go to the home show and look at it.
Yeah.
Or go both.
Go both. That's right.
Check it all out.
Check it all out.
Absolutely.
Take it all in. That's for sure. So, and of course, the home show starts next Friday.
Next
I
Friday at
believe.
noon, I believe, and
Yep.
runs, those 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Actually, it starts at 11. I
11
have the
o'clock,
website
right.
11 to 8, and Saturday the 19th will be 10 to 8, and then Sunday the 20th will be 11 to 5.
And that is in the Expo
Center.
on
Yep.
St. Louis
Yep,
Street.
sure is.
So if you're interested in that, and I think there's some little fee to get in or something. I don't know what it is this year. Maybe
I think there is.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's like used to be like $5. I don't know what it still is. Well, I do. $6.
$6.
Seniors
Okay.
5, ages 12 and under free. So
There
I'd
you
get in
go.
free, wouldn't I?
No.
Okay.
You might qualify more for the senior side.
Well, yeah, I do qualify for. Well, I don't really qualify. They give me senior coffee at the coffee shop. So
Well, that's because you go every day.
that's
I think
true.
that's like frequent flyer miles, Mark.
That you got a point there, Mary. That's for sure. So, 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or if you want to send us a text at 417-838-3192. We have a few minutes left in the program where we could slip a call or two in there if you'd
We
like
could.
to give us a call. Hey, if you're looking for for a little music tonight, we got our big jam going on. Our monthly jam with
yes.
Gobbs, Greater Ozarks Bluegrass Society, is
Yeah.
tonight. And my good friend John Heights from over at Remax House of Brokers, he came to the last one. I was just tickled to death.
Well, good.
So there's a lot of people that's finding out about it. This wants to come and listen that don't play or anything.
And that starts at 7?
Yeah, 7 o'clock, River Bluff Fellowship out on Evans Road between Springfield Lake and 65 Highway. It's easy to find. It's free. If you play, bring your instrument. We have anything from beginners to professionals. And we even offer what they call a slow jam for people that are just beginning and don't, are a little unsure of themselves. We got a slow jam and with some great instructors that will help you and stuff. So I want to invite folks to come out there and tonight.
Is that free?
It is free.
That's what I thought.
And if you want to join the Greater Ozarks Bluegrass Society, we can sign you up right there. It's like $15 for the year, and you get the newsletter and find out all the things going on. We're working on the Big Convoy of Hope fundraiser, which is going to be March 2nd, and it'll be out there at River Bluff. So I'll have information out there tonight on that. So just invite folks to come out.
And how long
be with
do you
us.
guys play tonight? From 7 to just when you get tired, or what?
Yeah, it's usually from 7 to 10, but
Oh, that's a long time.
back in the summer when it was warm, me and one other guy stood out there on the parking lot and played till after midnight, just me and him. Everybody else had gone. And
Oh, my
we stood out
goodness.
there and picked on the parking lot.
Well,
so
it's
you,
all
you just
good.
never know. It's
You
all
just never
good.
know.
It's all good. So, but yeah, be sure if you can come out and see us. And also, if you have any heating and air issues that you need help with, if you need a new system, whatever, call Spring Mountain Air.
That's right. And our number is 417 831-4036. Don't know if you're going to need much today, but let me tell you, folks, you might this weekend. It's coming.
It's coming. That's right.
It's going to get cold.
That's right.
So give us a call. We'll be glad to help you out.
Yeah, and I'd like to invite folks to come out to Schuler Ridge Subdivision in Republic, and I'll keep everybody posted as when the siding's going up and stuff.
That would be great
because
to see it on a house.
Yeah, people to come out and see the house, see what the siding's going to look like actually applied to the house. And so we're really excited about it. So I'll if anybody needs directions, they can text me at the 417-838-3192, and I can give them directions how to get out there.
How close are you guys to getting the siding on out there? Do you know?
We're real close to
I'm going to say maybe a couple weeks. I think we're waiting on a color, but not too long from now. Yep.
Good deal. Okay.
So we'll keep everybody posted on that.
Yeah, because I would really like to see a house with that on there. I think that is going to look awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's something different, and that's why we constantly try to look for something a little bit different, a little unique, something that stand out a little bit, and I think this is going to be a great product for us.
Absolutely. Plus the just the added insulation factor and sound thing and all that. I mean, I think that's just really neat.